Well, hello, hello, hello. Happy Thursday and welcome to Elegant Sentiments Today. I am Cheryl Abernathy. I'm the owner of Elegant Sentiments Today, and I'm here sharing our weekly card share number 40. So thank you so much for joining. If you're joining me live, thank you. And if you are watching this on the replay, I thank you for that as well. If you like what you see, please be sure to subscribe and like. I would really appreciate that. I'm so happy to be sharing some cards with you today. Again, this week, I'm sharing more from the fabulous Lisa Horton Spellbinders collection, the Spotlight Frames and Florals collection, and some of the products I'll be using. This is not part of the collection, but I'll be using the Juicy Pineapple Matte Blending ink. And from the collection, I'm going to be using the layered Anemone dies. There's 7 dies in this set, and I'll just be using the flowers without the stems for today's project. And also, I'm using the I can say the word, Better Press plates. This week, I'm using this plate with the stripes. It kind of reminds me of a sunset or sunrise, either way you look at it. But the Spotlight Circle Dual Better Press plates, and you can press with these plates and you can hot foil with these plates. So today we're going to use the Better Press, and then I'm also using these are called a little hello sentiments. So I'll be using the hello sentiment and then the sub sentiment that goes with it from this set. And then not part of the collection, but part of what I'll be using today are the Edgecutz Symmetrical Circles. So those are the products that we're going to be using. And here is the card that we will make using that set of products. So let's go ahead and get started. I'll put that there. And I've done some work ahead of time, like I always do. We're also going to be using some gems, some color essential gems from Spellbinders. These are the onyx ones. And I have gone ahead and die cut the 3 florals. I did 2 of the smaller ones and 1 of the larger one that we'll use for this card, and I put them together. I die cut the floral pieces and the centers. And then here's the sentiment. I did all 3 layers. It's a triple layer sentiment. And so those are the black, the white, and the yellow cardstock that I used to create that. And then I die cut 2 of the, well, actually when you die cut, I think I showed this last week, but in case I didn't, these sentiments these are the 2 shadows and the word die, and then the sub sentiments are all one piece. So when you stamp them once, you can get all of the sentiments. So here are 2 of the ones that when I did that one cut, I got 2, and I'll have to decide which ones I want to use for the card this evening. And then this is the die cut that I did using the Edgecutz Symmetrical Circles. So I just cut that onto, I think it was 4 by 5 1/4. I just moved it down just a bit and die cut that piece. And then I've mounted some foam adhesive on the back of that. So that's what this is. And then I have a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece of Spellbinders Better Press paper. I forgot what it's actually called. Let me look that up, and I can pick up my pack here and I can tell you. It's the cotton card panels. So I cut a piece of that down, and it presses beautifully. You can obviously better press with other paper, but this paper is made specifically for the Better Press system, and so that's what we'll be using for today. And then of course I have my A2 card base made with thick white cardstock. So let me move this stuff out of the way, and we'll do a little better pressing and put our card together. I think if you don't have the Better Press, oh my goodness, you are going to love this. This is try to bring this in here so you can see the whole thing. Do it this way. Yeah, so you can see the whole thing. I kind of got some. So these are metallic, and they just snap onto there like that. And when it goes through your die cutting machine, it presses down and it puts the image. Now I've gone ahead and put the and there's markings on both this piece and this piece. So whether you're doing an A2 or an A7 card, it's going to be the same. So you'll know exactly where it's going to show up when you put your card panel onto this piece. And then also underneath here, there are shims to help you get the exact amount of pressure. There are 3 shims that come. There's shims under here, 3 plastic shims. Yeah, they're really thin, but there's 3 of them. And you can adjust the pressure that you're going to get with your Better Press by removing those shims. And so I have the Platinum 6 that I'm going to work with today, and I use all 3 of the shims in there. I don't take any of them out. And so that's basically the Better Press system. When you buy it, you'll get it comes with this, and it comes with a press plate and ink, and it depends upon which system you buy, which one it is, but that's what we're going to be doing today. So let me go ahead, and I'm going to put my paper onto my Better Press. And again, this is just an A2 size panel. And because I know that I'm not going to be inking up the entire front of the panel, I'm going to go ahead and just put some tape in the corners to hold my panel in place. But if you were inking, if you thought you were going to be inking the whole panel, then obviously you would want to put your tape behind. But I don't need to worry about that because of my design today. So I'm going to take my Juicy Pineapple ink, and I'm just going to ink up this plate that I've already put on my Better Press where I want it to be. And when you ink your plate, you just want to do a tap and twist to get it inked up really well. And if you don't get it just completely, it's really not a worry, because as long as you don't shift anything, you can run this through a second time. But I think I've got that pretty well inked up. Lisa's inks really work wonderfully with Better Press plates. Spellbinders does sell their own inks for the Better Press, but Lisa Horton's ink pads, the matte blending ink pads, work well. I haven't tried the interference, but I'm sure those would work as well because of the pad that they use on their inks. So that's really all you need to do in terms of inking. I think I got, well, I see a little spot there in the center that's not fully inked. Let me get that. Okay, I think I got it. And if I don't, like I said, I can go back in. So all you do is just put your paper on there, and the top piece with the paper, and then this is ready to go to your die cutting machine. So I'm going to take this over to my Platinum 6. I'll be off camera, and I'll just run this through like I would any other die. And then and that machine is just pressing that image onto your paper. And there you have it. I don't know if you can see the texture, but that's actually there is, these lines are, the white lines are raised and the yellow is depressed into this paper. I don't think I can get an angle where you can actually see that, but it's very nice. And so that is all that there is to Better Press. And I'm telling you, it's one of the, it's close to foolproof in terms of being able to come out with a nice, neat product. And then I'm going to go ahead and clean this plate off, get the ink off of it, because you don't want the ink sitting on that. But it's going to be stained, and that's okay. But Better Press recommends Ranger Archival ink cleaner, but I've heard that, you know, there are other ink cleaners out there that work equally as well. So if you have one already, and as you can see, this is, I've got a nice little stain on there from using it so much, but it's okay. It's going to ink perfectly the next time I go to use it. You just want to make sure you get the ink off of it, that there's no, and I'm sure you're wondering, how can she tell if there's no ink on it with all that ink she got on that rag? But I can tell, but it's fine. So we will go ahead and move this out of the way and put our card together. So the first thing we'll do is go ahead and adhere this Better Press panel to the card front. And I just used plain old tape, but you can use whatever you like. Really simple. And once you put this onto the card front, we'll just put our other pieces on. I think I got that. Yep, there we go. And we'll burnish that a little bit. Make sure we got good contact all around. And there we go with that. And then we will go ahead and adhere this panel, which I've already put the two-sided foam tape on the back. And there we go. And you just want to, for this piece, you just want to make sure that it's at the edge of the panel and even on the sides, as even as you can get it. There. And then we'll go ahead and put, now for this card, usually I will bend the flowers inward, but for this one, I bent them the other direction. I just thought that it looked better. I don't know why. It looked better to me with them folded back as opposed to folding out. And so that's what I did, but you can fold them whatever way you like best. And I just folded each of those, and then I'll put some foam adhesive behind these, foam squares behind these. Once I do that, let me get that out. So I'm using the white foam squares by Spellbinders. And they're just the right size to put behind there. Get all of them on. And they're really, these anemones, I love these. There's so much detail in this little flower. And even if you wanted a little more detail, which I didn't do, but you could take, matter of fact, let me go ahead and do that with this one, just so you can see. Just take a small brush, a small stencil brush, and your ink, and you can add a little extra color around the edges there to just give a little bit more dimension and texture. So I'll do that real quick. It doesn't take long, and it dries quickly. And you don't even, some people just do one side, but I like doing all of them. So just put a little color on there. And if you didn't want to do the tips, you could do the centers. But I just like having a little extra color on your flowers. And it makes a difference. You'll see once we put this together and put it up against the next one, the difference it makes just putting this little bit of color onto the tips of the flowers. But fun and easy, that's my style, easy and elegant. So if you like easy card making, you'll like my cards, because that's what we do here. When we're crafting our kindness, it's easy and elegant and fun. I just love playing with paper and ink. So there, we just have a little bit of color on there. Let me wipe that off before it ends up every place that I don't want it. Get a different rag this time. One with a little less ink. Okay, so we've got our flowers done, and now we'll go ahead and put some foam tape behind, a little foam square behind each one of our flowers. And then we'll add them to the card once we get that done. Okay, so let me see how these are. Put the biggest one in the center, so that's how I'll put it down. And again, I'll just fluff those downward a little bit. I don't want to get too crazy with it, and I don't want them up, so that's going to work for me. There you go. And then we'll do that with the other two. That's what I always love, fighting with these little tabs. They just love running away from me. And I was like, you are not going to escape. Put that one there, and then we'll do the other one. We'll be done with the flowers. And here we go. And then we'll put the sentiment on. And you could, if you wanted even more texture, you could, before you put this on, you could run that through an embossing folder that adds some additional texture, or you could ink blend it if you wanted a little more color, not so much white. But I think the black and yellow just pops real nicely on that black, on this white card. So that's what we did. Keep it nice and simple. Okay. Let's see. I want to make sure I get that straight before I push too hard and commit. I think that's straight. Okay. And then I think for this one, I'm going to say, hello, my dear friend, since I already said, hello, how are you on the other one. And I like, those sentiments you can do a little hello, or you can do, let's see here. Put that down just a bit. Make sure I got that straight. Uh-oh, that's not straight. Excuse me, I got to pick this up and make sure it's straight. That looks pretty good to me. And then the last thing that we need to do is put our embellishments on. And I need to close up my glue before it dries up. Okay, and so all we have to do is put our embellishments on. Now this one, I use the little teeny dots, but as you can see, I don't have enough little teeny dots. So I'm going to use the next bigger size for this card and order some more onyx essential gems because this is the last of my pack. So I'm going to need some more. But, and you know, this is optional. I like this because you can do all kinds of colors with this design. It's really simple and easy and just a lot of fun. And I think the triple circles kind of bring out the circle die or better press that we did in the back. So it all just kind of works together, just like all of Lisa's products. They're pretty fabulous, I think. Okay, we're getting there with these little dots. At least they're not running away from me like they usually do. But we're getting there. Just hang on with me if you would. Almost done. Just a few more to go. It feels like that when you're doing exercise and they say just a few more and you're dying as you go. A few more feel like forever. That's why I try not to do that too often. Okay, let's see. I want to put one on these outer corners too. So I think that will, did I get all my spots? I think I did. Okay, so there you have it. That is today's card, made again with more of the Spotlight Frames and Florals collection by Lisa Horton for Spellbinders. I hope that you like the project, and I hope that you will come back and watch again to see what we're working with next week. In between time, I hope you have a lot of fun crafting some kindness of your own. Thank you again for stopping by. Be sure to like and subscribe. Tell your friends, and in the meantime, between now and next week, live graciously, and we'll see you again. Bye.